Hey guys, Veebat here with another V-Plays, and we are looking at the XF-90. I've done a review of this aircraft before, but not with the new setups that we can incorporate with the new equipment. And I've actually swapped out the weapon modification for the gas-operated action to increase the rate of fire on these guns. We are not specialized on this platform, so these are just going to be upgraded to the first level. But oh buddy, that's a player. One of the things I really like about this airframe is, much like the HG3, it's a tier 10 heavy, it has pretty good oomph and stuff. This does lose a lot of turn performance compared to that aircraft. However, this aircraft loves to sit around 400 plus miles an hour just as a cruising speed, and actually has a higher altitude operating realm than you would see with the HG3. So this can actually sit up at around 9,000 opposed to around 8,000. In fact, it can actually get closer to 10. It's another heavy aircraft vectoring in on my ally. We are in danger of overtaking this aircraft, and by in danger I mean we are totally gone. Let's come up here and re-engage this bomber. We are in a turning fight with another heavy. That is never something we want to be doing in this airframe. Getting that distance and coming back in at an angle of your choosing is going to be your best bet. Looks like that other bomber's already respawned and is coming back. We're going to use our speed to get up here, engage this aircraft yet again, knock him out, manage to capture the zone. We have an HG2 that looks like he's vectoring in on one of our ally aircraft. Nope, it looks like he may just be moving on. Let's see what we can do here with our guns. That gas-operated action getting us a little bit more DPM out of these guns. I'd worry about the accuracy using something like that, but we already have Marksman 2 on this aircraft. So we actually have pretty good accuracy despite all that. Okay, got rid of our threat aircraft. Now let's come back in and get some good hits on this 287. Nice. Looks like that bomber is still in the middle. Nice thing about these tier 10 heavies is just look how fast we're able to get around the battlefield. We're always at around 600 miles an hour. We're going to bypass this threat and move on to the 262. We're in a scissor fight right now. I am just going to vacate the area. I'm going to dip that nose a little bit. I'll come back to this engagement in a second, but you can see how quickly we're departing the area, and we're up over 700 miles an hour. We're going to go ahead and come back now that we have kind of decided that this is where we wanted to be in the engagement. The Javelin was making the mistake of turning away from us, but now as he tries to turn on us as though we were turning on him still, he is now at a disadvantage. There's that gas-operated action doing its work for us. I would love to be able to get these guns on that Javelin, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon.
Way to go! Victory is close.
There we go. Gas-operated action is the only way that was ever going to happen. We lost a wing there, which means we have really bad roll rate. Let's go ahead and dive on this Hunter. We still have our elevator, which is the real important piece of equipment on an aircraft like this. Took that aircraft out. Yes, Javelin is diving on us. I'm going to see if we can outpace him here. He is on our tail. He really wants a piece. We're going to go ahead and hit our cooler here. Get that separation, and we are pretty much gone at this point. We need to get some altitude if we would like to engage this aircraft, but I think he sees us coming. Indeed he does. So we're going to go ahead and dip down and drop on a different airframe. We are making short work of that F6U. But the game's already over, and I attribute a lot of that to being able to maintain such good control of that facility over at that command center. The ability to take on those bombers, catch those other heavy fighters unaware, and really put the damage out with those 6 20mm cannons, it's an absolute beast. They're the same guns you get with the F2H and the F7U Cutlass and the F6U Pirate. The difference is you just have 2 more of them, so you get a 30% bump in the overall damage output. I used to opt for putting on a range modification on here, the long barrel, because I felt as though it maintained the accuracy. The other 2 options of either a reinforced bolt carrier or a gas-operated action usually resulted in losing some form of accuracy, but I wanted to make sure I was able to hit the target early and often, figuring that if I could hit them earlier, that meant that I'd have more time with guns on target. But with the gas-operated action, we're increasing the rate of fire, which means that we're able to get more of these rounds out on the target. So even if they're scattering a little bit, at least a few of them are hitting, and you're just increasing the overall volume, which is helpful considering how quickly you kind of pass on the target with an aircraft that is traveling at well over 500 miles an hour at any given time and can burst up to over 700. Now, we showed the stats at the beginning, and the stats are honestly quite comparable for the high-end speed regime to that of the HG3, but the cruise speed is different. We can do a quick comparison again here. You can see that my cruise speed is 460 with my max boost speed of 724, so even in a max boost and a straight and level, we're going to be getting close to that max dive speed of 745. Now, when we compare that to the HG3, you'll see that the HG3 cruises at only 435, and with boost will only hit about 696, but again, the same speed in the dive. Now, this is based on the configurations I have on both of these aircraft as well. Obviously, the maneuverability is quite lacking on the XF-90 with a over 17-second turn time compared to the 15.5 you see on the HG3. But then when you look at the performance characteristics for altitude, we get another nearly 700 feet with the XF-90, and we also get another, what is that, math in public, that's about another 700 feet in service ceiling as well, with an even better climb rate. So we can already sit at a higher altitude, getting the better engine performance. And if you're looking for an aircraft with the best engine performance and speed in the game, the XF-90 is unparalleled. And even though these stats look comparable, I think you can tell by looking at the two different pieces of gameplay that I put up in the past 7 days that you'll see that the HG-3, while an absolutely stellar intercept aircraft, is going to have trouble keeping up with an XF-90 because I'm already traveling at a much higher rate with this aircraft. Anyways, I do look forward to eventually specializing in this aircraft, getting it a little bit faster with the polished skin for the airframe. And again, it's just an absolutely beautiful plane, very sleek lines, and is an absolute killer on the battlefield. So if you are grinding this line, this is the pinnacle. And I have not met an XF-90 pilot that hasn't liked this airframe. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Always getting closer. I'm marching till it's over.